Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Week 1 of the Diddy trial is in the books, and it has not disappointed. Question: who do you think has been more impressive to the jury? Who do you think has gotten their point across best? The prosecution or the defense? I'll give you a few moments to think about it. Give me a thumbs up if you think the prosecution has gotten their point across to the jury better. 2 thumbs up if you think the defense has done a better job. I'll give you a few moments to think about it. Okay, time's up. I think the defense has done a better job because so far the prosecution has really proven nothing and has not exposed us to anything that we really did not know that could hurt Diddy. Yeah, we didn't know about some of the intricacies and him overdosing and what happened on this day and that date and the conversations they had with the male escorts about the freak-offs and all of this type of stuff. So we didn't know particulars, but we had a good overview of what was going on already. And the prosecution has not really revealed anything new. Apparently, the prosecution has other witnesses who are supposed to come forward and help them build their racketeering case against Diddy. Yeah, fam, they're going for Diddy's time. They want him to do 15 to life. Cassie, from day one, has been the most polarizing witness for the prosecution. In my opinion, I do believe that Cassie has been telling a bunch of lies. I don't believe her. I absolutely don't believe her. In fact, she's already gotten caught up several times lying. She got caught up when she lied about the freak-offs and how she felt about it. Remember, at one point she said that she didn't like the freak-offs, at least not that frequently, right? So that means she likes them, but not as frequently as she was having him. And she didn't like him as much as Diddy liked him, right? But she still liked him. Now, although she didn't flat out say, I liked him, she did get caught up on those text messages talking about how much she enjoyed the freak-offs and how she was looking forward to the freak-offs and how just after a couple of days of planning the freak-off, she couldn't wait to get ran through. She also talked about being very horny after a freak-off. Yeah. I mean, the type of sex that could last some people for a whole year, for some people a whole lifetime. She did it and she was ready to re-up. Yeah. So she, in that regard, I absolutely do not believe Cassie was ever forced to have a freak-off. And furthermore, she did admit to being jealous of Kim Porter. She didn't like the fact that Diddy called Kim Porter his soulmate after she died. I do believe that she thought that Kim was the only thing standing in their way. And when Kim died and he called her his soulmate, Kim was still standing in her way. She couldn't get around it, so she finally caught a snap and realized, look, this man ain't gonna never be mine. I do believe that Cassie still have feelings for Diddy. I think she still loves Diddy. But she's bitter. She's upset. She's mad that Diddy has elevated these other women, because after Cassie, he started flaunting these other women, like showing him, doing all this big time stuff with these other women, and especially Young Miami. He rolled the red carpet out for her lifestyle, her whole career. Gave her a big show on Revolt. I think that show was on Revolt. Gave her a big show and everything. I know he supported it. Gave her a big show, gave her big paper, just like that. And Cassie been here all of these years, and she ain't been able to be self-sufficient. He ain't put her in a position to be self-sufficient. She enjoyed the trappings of success, but he gave her just enough to keep coming back. In my opinion, it seemed like that's what he did. Or maybe he gave her enough to where she could take and build, but she had some expensive habits and she didn't know how to budget well. And all she did was spent. You dig what I'm saying? So he could have been giving her $1 million a month. But if she got a bad spending habit and she's spending $1.2 million, $1.5 million, she gonna be in the hole. How can you spend $1.5 million? Credit cards and getting the rest from Diddy. That's if you're only getting $1 million, right? Yeah. So the real reason Cassie is in front of the judge in that courtroom, pointing Diddy out, helping the prosecution bring down this dude who she once shared a bed with for 11 years. Not just shared a bed, but shared her dreams with. Shared a house with. Shared a life with. Trying to bring him down. She's trying to help them bring him down. I couldn't do it, fam. I couldn't do that to somebody that I had been with for 11 years. 11 years means that, okay, we ain't together no more, so obviously some bad times kicked in. But shit, it had to be some good times, man. 11 years? What about all the good times? See, I'm a grown man for real. I can take my bitter with my sweet. You won't hear me going around bad-mouthing any of my exes. I don't do that. I don't rock like that. That's immature. That's what little dudes do. You dig what I'm saying? I don't do that. On every level of my life, in every aspect of my life, I know how to take my bitter with my sweet. And I know how to recognize those who don't. Cassie is one of those. Cassie was bitter. And check this out, fam. You know Cassie ain't been forced to do nothing. She talked about them freak-offs like, she wanted to freak offs more than she wanted to breathe. So she enjoys. Cassie is a sexual deviant, just like Diddy, nymphomaniac. Ain't nobody forced her to. You don't have to force a nymphomaniac to have different dudes running through her. You ain't gotta force that. She's choosing that. She's looking forward to it. And if she say she did it for Diddy, that's only so that Diddy won't look down on her. And let me say this too, fam. Fellas, I know this might rub you the wrong way, but I gotta tell you, I gotta keep it a strike. I gotta call a strike and a ball a ball. Love all y'all. Don't do it, man. If it's a woman that you really cut for, this is why I don't think that Diddy really cut. I think he cut for her, but he didn't love her. Because if you love a woman, you're not going to put her out there like that. If you love her family, you're not going to put her out there like that. You know the implications for something like that. And whatever can happen, will happen in terms of that information getting out there, people looking at her, talking her business, talking down, and disrespecting you as a couple. Ain't nobody gonna respect that. You letting your woman get ran through, ain't nobody gonna respect that union. She didn't even respect it. You didn't respect it, and she didn't respect it. So if you really cut for a man, find you somebody. If you want to get freaky, you want to do some of that freaky stuff, go find you somebody you don't really care about and do that with. Don't do it with one that you really rock with. Don't do that. And women, same thing for y'all. Don't get so caught up with no dude where you play yourself like that. Because I know if I did talk you into something like that, man, all I know is that you was doing this and that, and I saw you doing it. Ain't no way you gonna be my man. Ain't no way I'm gonna respect you like that. I don't give a damn what I say. I'm not respecting you. No, no, no. Even if it was my idea. Man, I don't want no woman like that. You know, like how can I walk into a room and feel proud about a woman that get down like that? Nah, I'm not, you're not gonna be my man. You're not gonna be my man. I'm not getting down like that. I'm not doing that to myself. This is why Cassie felt entitled to mess around herself. Diddy liked to see her messing with these other dudes. She was already used to being used. She was already used to being ran through by different dudes. So when Diddy go and do his thing with the women, she like, man, shit, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I'm finna go over here and get my groove on too. That's why she was messing with all these different dudes in the industry. Michael B. Jordan, Kid Cudi, this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, this guy. There's a list, man, it's a long list of dudes in the industry. Seemed like everybody she worked with, everybody she danced with, everybody she met with, everybody she looked at, she was with. Yeah, and she got out there and she felt justified because of the relationship, that open relationship where it wasn't supposed to be open, but it was open. That relationship she had with Diddy, that's why she felt entitled to do the things that she did. And that is the problem with sharing your bed or your floor or your sofa, your car, your yacht, your plane, your kitchen island, whatever, you know what I'm saying, bathtub, whatever. That's the danger. You're gonna have people catching feelings, and trust is going to be absent. If it was trust gonna be out of the door for our family. You know what they say about trust. No trust, no relationship. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.